Good morning, everybody, and a happy Wednesday morning to you. We have a lot to cover today, so let's just jump in there. But before we do, I have a sponsor, and we have an ad that's really important, so listen up. You know, I've already spoken to you about several benefits with Aura. One had to do with financial fraud. One had to do with identity theft and wiping your information off the web. Let's talk now about a third benefit of using Aura. Did you guys know that children aged 11 to 14 spend 9 hours a day online? Well, Aura has a family plan that can accommodate 5 adults and an unlimited number of children. What Aura does is it filters harmful sites and manages how much time your children can spend on apps like YouTube, Roblox, Snapchat, and more. It's powered by Circle, which is an award-winning technology used by thousands of parents. And for your children that are doing online gaming, the cyberbullying protection is really super important. Keep your kids safe with 24/7 in-game voice and text monitoring of over 200 of the most popular PC games. Get alerted to cyberbullying, online predators, and toxic gaming behavior. Now you can keep track of your children's devices, all of them, and you'll get a really good picture of what exactly they're doing on those devices. You can establish screen time boundaries, and you can even pause the internet. You can block apps, and you can customize filters for certain websites. With that information, you choose how long your child stays online. That's right, you can cut the internet off. Just go to the description box and click on the link in order to get a 2-week free trial. You don't want to compromise your child's online safety, so it's super important. Check out Aura today. All right, you guys, important information. You guys know I only do ads on the stuff that's super important. That is important. All right, so like I said before, we have a lot to cover. Let's jump in. Let's get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with something a little different. 23 pieces of clocks, different clockworks are on display for the next 4 months in South Kensington. And that started on February 1st. And the clocks that are on display were chosen from 1,600 pieces that came from the Forbidden City, which of course we now know as the Palace Museum, and they date from the 18th to the 20th century. How cool is that? Clocks from Britain, France, Germany, Switzerland, from all over. So there was a grand opening celebration on Thursday, January 31st, that was attended by the Chinese ambassador, the director of the Palace Museum, all these different people, and the chair of trustees of the Science Museum Group, Sir Timothy Lawrence. How fabulous is that? Apparently, they've been working on getting this exhibition together since 2018. That's a long time. And Sir Tim said, and I'm quoting, "The clock stories reveal the little-known trade and cultural exchanges between China and Britain in the 18th century. That's pretty cool. All right, moving on. Let's move on now to King Charles, who was seen on I believe it was the 4th of February. He was waving to everybody as he went to church, a service at Sandringham. He looked very healthy. He looked fine. He was walking, with Camilla. Everybody was happy to see him. And we know that King Charles had surgery for an enlarged prostate, which is actually fairly normal for older gentlemen. This we know. We also know that Charles released his medical information because he wanted to raise awareness. And apparently, since he did share his condition, they're saying that, online searches, about enlarged prostate and treatments has gone up like ridiculous amounts. So the king is stepping away from duties for right now to recover. And then the next thing hit. It was announced on Monday the 5th that King Charles III has cancer. While they were doing his procedure for the prostate enlargement, they noticed something. So they took some samples and the diagnostic test came back and identified a form of cancer. They have already set up regular treatments, and so he's going to have to postpone public duties while he's doing these treatments. Obviously, they're saying he'll continue with state business and official paperwork, but they're not saying what kind of cancer he has or what stage the cancer is in, which quite frankly makes a big difference as to how it's treated, how aggressive it is, and his prognosis. Now, this man has told everybody about his enlarged prostate. He's told everybody he's got prostate cancer. I personally don't think he should have to release the staging, the kind of cancer, the treatment options. I think that should remain private, just like Catherine. You know what I mean? There's only so much you should give out. And now that this information has come out, suddenly somebody from Harry's camp is saying that Harry is going to go to the UK to see his father since he's been diagnosed with cancer. I'm like, so let me see this. You weren't able to see the family. You treated your grandparents like crap. You let them go to their graves thinking that people thought they were racist. You've done nothing but attack your father, attack Camilla, attack your brother. But now that your father has been diagnosed with cancer and is very sick, suddenly you're concerned? Suddenly you have to run to the UK to see your dad? No, almost immediately, Omid Scobie, who we know is the Sussex's mouthpiece, put out a tweet. Oh, Harry's going right back to the UK. He's going to go see his dad, and he's going back, okay? Cue the cars, which are suddenly seen, and pictures taken by Backgrid Dial-A-Pap of Harry arriving at the airport. Now, if his father is that ill, why isn't he taking the children to see their grandfather? But I guess since Thomas Markle had 2 heart attacks and a stroke and he didn't, rate a visit either, I wouldn't be too surprised. That doesn't surprise me. And of course, it wasn't long before the press started doing this. It must be so hard for Harry. No. I wonder what the Sugars think that Harry is running home to be with the father that he said was a racist and that he's been attacking for 3 years. What do the Sugars think of that? Oh, he made comments about Archie, but let's go visit. And articles like this are coming out. How does Megan feel about the reunion? Honestly, who cares? That's not her family. She won't even go see her own dad. And now they're saying that this should be the diagnosis that brings them back together. Guys, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Harry has always been Charles's darling boy. That's what Charles calls him. And had this been any other family, maybe there might have been a reconciliation, but you can't go on a global stage, write a book like you did, make racist accusations like you did, and just expect the family to just swipe it aside because your dad's sick. People are going, William needs him. No, I think if anything, it's been proven William doesn't need him. Let's move on to Camilla now. Most of you may not know this, but Camilla has now become the first royal patron of the Anne Frank Trust UK. I think that's wonderful. I love that. And by the way, this picture you're looking at now is the one that Anne Frank had on her wall. Love it. All right, next up, I just thought this was really sweet. A private pilot traced the outline of King Charles's crown in the sky to mark his coronation last year. How cool is that? It's a royal-themed flight, so she won an award. She won an award previously when she created a portrait of Elizabeth II the same way in the previous year. Love it. Moving on, I wish this had been available when I was in the UK. The king has approved glamping sites on the Sandringham estate. There'll be a safari tent with a private veranda and built-in barbecues. A total of 15 tents will be in the wooded land areas on the estate. 28 touring caravan pitches, 12 camping pitches. I love that idea. All right, moving on. All right, next up, I have to touch on this. It's Johnny, you guys. We all know that everybody just loves Johnny and we're following him around. Well, and he was seen walking hand in hand with his girlfriend, who, by the way, used to work for King Charles. But it appears that he got divorced about 2 years ago. I had no idea. I was unaware. Anyway, he's in a new position, and the new position has him working more inside the palace, so you're not going to see him running around in his kilt quite as much. Now, with that news, you should know that King Charles has appointed a new equerry, and it's a female. Absolutely love it. It's his very first female equerry. She's 33. Her name is Captain Kat Anderson, and she's going to be his eyes and ears on his overseas visits and tours. I love it. All right, let's move on now. All right, now let's move on to the Grammys. I found it very interesting that Oprah went with Gayle. They had a nice table right up front. Also sitting up front was Taylor Swift and a bunch of other stars. Very interesting, Harry and Meghan did not go with them. Could they not wrangle them an invitation? I just find that very suspect. And in the meantime, Taylor Swift showed up in an outfit. I doubt she gave a nod, although she is friends with William, but she literally put on a white dress with black gloves, and it was a beautiful dress. I'm not going to lie. It was absolutely gorgeous, cinched in the back, and everybody said, oh, it was a nod to Catherine. Yes, Catherine did wear a white dress with black opera gloves, but I don't know that was a nod to Catherine. I think that was just a fashion thing. Sorry, that's just the way I feel. Also, there were a lot of after parties with the Kardashians and the Beckhams and all these people. And guess who wasn't there? Harry and Meghan. So I agree with Sugar Free. They did not get invitations to the Golden Globes, the Emmy Awards, Oprah's birthday party, Jeff Bezos' birthday party, the Grammys. No, instead they went to Jamaica to sit in a theater while she wore that getup. Oh my goodness. Now, interesting to know that Harry and Meghan, the blind item came out basically saying they thought they were going to be getting a recording awards and they didn't get the nomination. Then, apparently they had a huge party planned and the after party and then it just went bye-bye. Also, according to this blind item, they were trying to get tickets to the Super Bowl. Yeah, January did not go well for them. What can I say? All right, moving on. Now, you all should know that since the King and Catherine, Princess of Wales, were in the hospital, their popularity has gone up. Amazing. And at the same time, Harry and Meghan's polls show that they continue to spiral down. I mean, according to this article, they were unpopular, but after the Queen died, they just plummeted down. Well, yeah, because they after the way they treated the Queen, and people love the Queen. Yeah. So almost half, 47% of those questions have an unfavorable opinion of Harry. Only 23% have a positive opinion of Harry, which is a 7% drop since the last poll that was done in 2023. And Meghan's popularity has also taken a nosedive. 54% have an unfavorable opinion and only 18% have a positive opinion of her. Yeah, they might as well give up the U.S. at this point. Articles are coming out saying that there's 3 words that confirm that everything's coming crashing down. I agree. I told you already that Bennett Levine left. Oscar-nominated producer Ben Browning has left. Farrah Taylor, who ran Archerwell's marketing team, has left. Head of audio Rebecca Sananis has left. Mandana Dayani, who was president, has left. And it says, these are the 3 words, they're not being replaced. Uh-oh. And so now you're seeing articles like this. They're getting alarming feedback. And do you know what that feedback is? That Americans have lost all interest in them. We're sick of hearing their story. An overwhelming 96% that were polled said they would not watch another docuseries. Yep. All right, next up, I saw this article. I had to comment on it. Apparently, when Harry asked the Queen for permission to marry Meghan Markle, the Queen said, well, I guess I have to say yes. I suppose I have to say yes. I mean, really? I think the Queen had his number. I think the Queen had her number from the very beginning. No, I don't think the Queen was happy about their marriage, honestly. Now, I want to finish this with a comment that one of my Patreon members put in saying that basically, thanks to Harry and Meghan, they no longer see Diana as innocent of the misfortunes of her life, which is true. We've seen these pictures of Diana running a race at the kids', school one year, and everybody was like, oh, she's such a good mother. But what nobody pointed out was that Charles was there and he also ran a race at the kids' school. So I completely agree with that comment. Thanks to Harry and Meghan, we all know this was a PR thing. Here's, Diana running up on the ship to hug her kids after she hadn't seen them in several weeks. But what you didn't know is that Charles did that same exact thing. He ran up to the ship. He hugged the kids just as enthusiastically as Diana did. I mean, people make jokes about Diana now. That's something that a few years ago nobody would ever have done. Now, I want to end on one other note. Everybody's going on about how happy Harry is since he met Meghan. She's the one who fulfills his life. She is the one that is everything to him. And yet, in every picture of Harry, from the tours to when they were on their final royal engagements, to when they went to visit the family, when they were there for the Queen's funeral, when they showed pictures of them at Netflix, when Harry is following Meghan around while she's going to One Young World. In every picture, Harry looks absolutely miserable. Sorry, guys. Even the Nelson Mandela Day, sorry. I've yet to see really happy, genuine smile photos of Harry. I haven't seen that in quite some time. I'd like to see it. I really would. It's scary to think that somebody is this miserable all the time, every day, with the person that they're married to. But, I've said it before. Marry in haste, repent in leisure. The right partner can either lift you up or can drag you to the depths of hell. And I think the family tried to wave Harry off, and Harry said no, and now he's so deep in it, he can't get out of it. Yeah, well, you made your bed, you got to lie in it now. What a shame. Now, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's joined my Patreon. We have over 700 members. People are really, really enjoying the content. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's joined us. Don't forget, if you want to join us, the link is in the description box below. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Put those comments down, make them good. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you've already done that, double check, make sure you are still subscribed. Don't forget, in the description box, you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my Patreon, my father's book. And for those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.